To all my cuties and freaks, it is Monday, May 4th in the United States and Canada. This is a show called What Chaos from the Sports Interaction Studio in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is David Bean. I sit beside Pete Blackburn, and holding it down in the city of the Quebecois, it's Sean DePaz.
Nope,
Oh, they are coming.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Absolutely.
Sean, you wanted it. You wanted it, brother. You got it.
Yes.
I wanted to play the Habs. I didn't consent to this becoming the city of the Quebecois. Those are the fucking enemy. I'm becoming tastefully, and by tastefully, I mean maybe not tastefully at all, xenophobic this week. And
Finally, someone on our show is xenophobic.
Anti-French. I think not Canadian in general. I think I'm fine with, but I am anti-French this week and next week, depending on how the series goes.
I support that. I want to say, please tread carefully and please do not get yourself canceled. Do not require us to put out a statement on What Chaos letterhead. We love you.
If
we
you
need
put out a
you.
statement, they won't be able to read it anyways.
That's true.
If you put it in English. No, I mean, I can't even really do that because they're significantly more impressive because they speak two languages as opposed to that half a language I speak.
Half a language. This is a dream series. The Buffalo Sabres and Montreal Canadiens, two teams that personally, people are probably expecting me to hate, probably expecting me to be like, fuck the Sabres, they beat your team. Fuck the Canadiens, they're the biggest rival of your team. At the end of the day, two teams that I have a lot of love in my heart for based off of what they are right now. And goddamn, that series is going to be a whole lot of fun.
Sean, do you welcome Pete back on the bandwagon, or do you say root for the Canadiens?
I don't give a fuck what Sean
says.
says.
Absolutely no. If anything, my problem with what Pete just said was that he seemed to be sitting on the fence a little bit. You're supposed to hate the fucking Habs. I know that you
that's the one that I'm like,
laundry-wise, yeah.
Laundry-wise, you should be rooting for the Buffalo Sabres here.
Okay, laundry-wise, I'm supposed to hate the Habs, but I was talking to Jay Baruchel about this yesterday, and he raised the point before I had to, which is like, it feels like people are rooting for the Habs, which speaks to how likable they are. They've overcome being the Canadiens based off of how likable this team is, and I absolutely am in that camp. I would for sure be rooting for the Sabres regardless. But as you recall, I have placed one future this entire Stanley Cup playoffs, placed it in February, Canadiens to win the Eastern Conference. So gotta stay upper middle class. Kind of gonna have that in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Sometimes I forget that I'm just built different.
Yeah.
And that I am capable of sticking to my principles. Not everybody's like that, and that's fine. I just expected you to have a little more hatred for the. There's no circumstance. The Yankees could employ my entire fucking family, and I'd be like, I guess I hate my family now. There is no circumstance in which I could have a bunch of money on the New York Yankees, and the predominant feeling when I see them fail would be pleasure, would be happiness. Not everyone's like that. It's fine.
I think we can all agree Pete's actions here are pretty spineless, but I side with, if this is what you feel, I would rather you do what you feel than be like, I'm beholden to do this thing. Life is crazy. Okay?
I agree.
If Pete
100%.
has love for the Canadiens in his heart, which I'm wearing the T-shirt this series again. This is a second straight T-shirt series for me, but I am rooting. I'll say it. I love our Canadiens audience. I am absolutely rooting for the Sabres in this series.
I'm not rooting for either side. That's my point. I'm just like,
he's trying to take the T-shirt from me.
You can accuse me of fence sitting, and I will absolutely say, yeah, I'm fence sitting because I like both sides of the fence at this point in time. These Canadiens have done nothing to me other than the laundry that they wear. And so I don't want them to win the Stanley Cup because I don't want the fan base to have that ammunition over the Bruins. But I like this team. They're very fun to watch. And I am very excited about this series between two very likable teams.
That's one thing I want. Yeah, I'll clarify. Is I would much rather you be genuine to your heart than pretending something you're not. Like, I'll be honest. I've been the world's foremost Avs guy over the last few years. Was watching that game last night, and I was like, damn, I kind of want the Wild to win this series. That's just what I can't control what my heart's telling me. I just
we all definitely
said,
want the Wild to win this series, but
I don't know about that.
we can say whatever we want.
I feel the same way about that series as I do about the Sabres Canadiens. I like both teams. Both teams are nasty. I think that Wild fans are a bit more hungry than Avalanche fans are, and that's a cool thing. But like both of those teams are fucking awesome and electric and great to watch. Whoever wins that series, I will be happy for. Another part of the Canadiens element of it, we want to go to Montreal, and there's a good chance we're going to Montreal, and that atmosphere is like the best in hockey. So that's another layer of like good for those guys.
Would relish the opportunity. I'd have to learn a little bit of French. I would want to. It would be playful. I'm not trying to actually die, but I would like to shit talk in French just a little bit. I think that would be fun.
I would feel weird though being in Montreal watching Pete root for the Canadiens.
I'm not going to root for the Canadiens.
That's where I would feel like
certainly couldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to root for the Canadiens.
Okay.
That's not happening. I'm probably not going to root for the Sabres either. I'm just going to be a neutral observer in this series.
There are t-shirts for that.
There are t-shirts for that. But famously, those t-shirts will probably have a Montreal Canadiens logo on it. And that is my hard and fast rule that I will never wear anything with the Canadiens logo on it.
So Pete's in a tough spot.
So
as a Canadiens fan, he cannot wear something with the Canadiens logo on it.
I don't understand how you can and I promise this isn't even a criticism. It's just like I can't understand how you could simultaneously be like, I hate this team so much I can't even touch their logo, and also be like, but I want both teams to have fun.
I said I hate the laundry. It's all I hate about the Canadiens.
Well, that's crazy because like the best thing about the Canadiens,
I understand that. I know that the Canadiens
objectively,
I know, but the same
is their laundry.
I think you can say the exact same thing about the New York Yankees. The Yankees have the best hat in baseball. They have some of the best jerseys in baseball. It's an iconic look. I fucking hate the Yankees, and I will never touch that logo. It just is what it is.
Yeah, that part we agree on.
That part. What's on the show today, Peter?
Today, oh boy. Today on the show, we're starting the show. Today on the show, 9?
I changed it last minute so it didn't get in there. The first one is 9, Julianne Moore voice. Second one is 9. That would be the Avalanche game. And then keep going.
No, you can take it. It seems like you got a good handle on this.
This third one's your bag, Pete.
No, that's why I don't really want to go. It's another version of 9. And then finally, was this a penalty?
Yes. And that sounds like there's not much going on the show today, but really, like the 9, like a team had 9 shots on goal and won a game. That's crazy. A team scored 9 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs in what was supposed to be the non-pillow fight division. That's crazy. 9 means no in German, and we now know a lot more about the inner workings of some star players' minds, thanks to the latest breakup days that have hit. We've got what?
Are you suggesting that last night's Avs-Wild was a pillow fight?
He said the non-pillow fight division.
But I'm saying that like
that's a division that's not supposed to be the pillow fight, which to me implies that you're saying it's a pillow fight.
Right. That was a little confusing.
Like the pillow fight element, I would assume, would be like those teams are unserious.
Yeah, and
so
are giving up like 9 goals in a
game.
like a 9-6 thing. That would be drinks bring back all the memories, like Oilers Ducks. 9-6 makes sense for me there. 9-6 does not make sense for me in the adult, in the senior circuit that is happening in the Central Division. But I'll tell you what, had an absolute blast with it. RIP for people who don't tolerate the practice of calling games drunk, because that one's going to get called drunk left and right. We'll talk all about it. And yes, the 9 in German, Leon Draisaitl was the star of, I believe it was Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. Saturday. A lot of cool clips of Leon Draisaitl that did not involve a hockey stick. There was a clip of Charlie McAvoy that involved a hockey stick. We'll discuss that. And the last thing, that's was this a penalty? We don't do hit chat, but I'm thinking double digits for one of your Boston Bruins.
Double digits, damn. I mean, we can save it, but
a little alliteration there from Pete. Double digits.
Damn.
Let's begin with the first 9. That would be the shot total for the Montreal Canadiens last night. As they advance to meet the Sabres in the second round, they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning and did so with a historically unproductive game. The team had 4 shots on goal in the first period, one of which went in. Then after that, the Canadiens went nearly 27 minutes, including the entire second period, without a shot on goal. Mind you, they had 2 power plays in the second period. And when I feared, and they initially thought that it was a shot on goal, when I feared on that second power play they got a shot on goal, I was so bummed because not only were the Canadiens not registering shots on goal, for much of that second period, they were leading the game.
They weren't even attempting shots on goal.
Yeah, I think they finished the second period with 5 shot attempts. And again, they were on the power play twice. This game was dominance. It was fascinating. And the better team doesn't always win. We'll hear from John Cooper in a little bit, but this was a series in which, and I'll finish it off, they finished with 9 shots on goal, which is the fewest by a winning team in Stanley Cup playoff history. Every game in this series was a 1-goal game. I feel like all of them went to overtime, but I know they did not all go to overtime. This was such a close series, and I think that I feel for Lightning fans, and I definitely feel that Lightning Sabres would have been the greater war just from an on-ice perspective between the two teams and how much they hate each other. But what do we say all the time about if your team is trailing in a series and you're like, say you're down 3-1, and you say, okay, well, you just got to win this next one, and then you win one more, and then what do we say about the final game?
If it comes down to one game, anything can happen.
Game 7, anything can happen.
Yeah.
This is the greatest case of Game 7, anything can happen. It was such a close series the entire way. And granted, you can also say if you're a Tampa fan, Tampa didn't have Victor Hedman. So, but this was as close.
Canadians didn't have Noah Dobson.
They did at the end.
This
was as close a series as you could get. And then the Game 7, anything could happen. One team finally was decidedly better than the other, and that team lost. Hockey fucking rules. Full marks for the Canadiens. I'm not doing you should have lost any
I don't
of that.
give
Full marks. You had 9 shots on goal and figured out a way to win the game, including a go-ahead goal that, shout out the broadcasters who were like, what hand-eye court, look how he aims this and everything.
Shit.
A puck was bouncing and he just whacked it towards the net.
So that's the thing to me is this was the luckiest win maybe ever.
Endearing.
Yes, correct. I have no time for the should have won kind of conversation. And obviously if you're a Lightning fan, you say, you're going through your copium. I was doing copium on Saturday after the Bruins lost or on Friday after the Bruins lost to the...
Oh, whoops. Wrong.
Oh, yeah. I was doing copium after the Bruins lost to the Sabres, and I was expecting the Bruins to lose to the Sabres. It's just a natural process for fans. I have no time for the should have won thing, especially in a Game 7, because that is a anything can happen kind of thing. Yes, the Canadiens got super lucky. Both of their goals were extremely lucky. Yeah, they didn't generate at all. The Lightning played an unbelievable Game 7 defensively. But guess what? Goaltending is part of your team, and Jakub Dobeš was unbelievable. Side note: do you know who previously held the record for fewest amount of shots on goal in a win?
I don't. Give it to me.
The Edmonton Oilers, 2024, beat the Dallas Stars with 10 shots on goal in the Western Conference Final.
2024. Which game was that?
Would that have been the clinching Game 6?
Maybe I was gonna say it was definitely in a post put Broberg in the lineup game because once they did that, not that Broberg came in and solidified their defense, but I think it did the thing of all right, we have a child playing now, so let's fucking be on our P's and Q's here. And that does ring a bell. I don't know what exactly. But 10 shots on goal, that's great. I like the Canadiens holding that record more. It's funnier if the Oilers hold it, but the Canadiens, I like through perseverance. I don't want to hear any of that shit about the Oilers. I like that for the Canadiens.
I also feel like that is the kind of win that makes you feel like the Canadiens are a team of destiny.
I love team of destiny shit.
Yeah. sorry, Sean, like you see a team win like that, and you've got to ask some questions about what they've done behind the scenes to like sacrifice to the hockey gods or whatever you may call it. That felt like the biggest team of destiny win that I've ever seen.
That's fine. I mean,
You could raise
being
him
the
game
worst team
one.
well, I can raise you this entire season. Like they were the worst team in hockey at one point, became the best team in hockey over 3 months, and then you had game one. And in a surprising twist, Lindy Ruff doesn't even know how healthy his own players are because yesterday he said Sam Carrick's not close. Today, Sam Carrick might be cleared back for practice tomorrow.
Well, that's
Talking about team of
malpractice.
destiny.
Last I saw, Sam Carrick was
has
out
magic
for the
powers.
second round. No, he's not?
Nope.
9?
Not Lindy Ruff yesterday spoke, and he was not aware. He was wrong about how about Carrick's status, and he spoke today and said that Carrick's going to see a doctor, looking to get cleared to return to practice tomorrow.
That just makes Lindy Ruff sound very old.
That's true. I got to ask some questions.
Yeah.
The chat is saying that the Sabres also feel like a team of destiny, which I won't argue against. Like this is the team of destiny series. Series of destiny.
Definitely agree
Series
with that.
of Destiny. I like
Tenacious
that, yeah.
D in the Series of Destiny. I completely agree with that. The Avalanche, I would say, don't get to be a team of destiny because everyone thinks they're the best team. Wild don't get to be a team of destiny because, I don't know, someone's mad at Quinn Hughes or something like that.
No, I mean,
Ducks,
the Wild are also one of the best teams. Like,
yeah, they're too good. Ducks, not there yet. Knights, I kind of want to call the Knights a team of destiny just to see what happens.
Yeah.
just to
He'll
see
get canceled
Wilbur.
quicker than
If
Sean
I
hating the
live.
French.
Yes. And then Flyers, if they turn this around, which I don't know if it's happening.
Yeah,
They
if
could
the,
be a
if
team
the
of
Flyers
destiny.
beat the Hurricanes, we can have the conversation, but there is a show to do today, and there is no evidence to suggest that the Flyers are on the path to being a team of destiny.
You want a really
hold
cool...
on. The Flyers were the team of destiny. Their destiny was just to win the first round. Like,
Yeah.
they've met their
I
destiny.
guess that's true. What is the destiny?
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
destination?
Yeah, every team is a team of destiny. The Golden Knights are not going to win the Stanley Cup.
the
It's
Vancouver-
written in the stars, Golden Knights, team of
Yes.
destiny.
Vancouver Canucks.
Yes.
The destination was being the worst team in the league and
Worst team in hockey, yeah.
fumbling their way into the first overall pick. We'll find
Listen,
out tomorrow night.
that was the Oilers' destiny for the longest time, and look, it's gotten them pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, the Oilers were the most, and it's probably part of what endeared me to them so much. They were the most not going to win team of destiny ever. Like, they are destined to do something. Don't think it's win.
Yeah.
But they are
Their
destined.
destiny was
I miss
darkness.
Mike Smith. God, I fucking miss Mike Smith. At some point soon, maybe today I'll be ready to shoot it, but I have been I've been just staying up all night, burning the midnight oil, drinking all the bing bong, texting around the league, bouncing ideas off of people, trying to figure out. I told Pete this, like, we're going to do a little video on, like, what can you do to fix the Oilers? And I initially thought it was going to be some, no J.K. Rowling chat, just like scribbling some ideas down and being like, all right, keep this guy, sign this guy, whatever. Their problems are so difficult to solve that it has instead taken me all weekend crunching numbers, making phone calls, soliciting the brain power of people much smarter than me. Liam Horrobin, Shayna has helped with this big time.
I love that the first name you
Yeah,
went to
I
was
know. I
Liam
was just gonna
Horrobin.
say, is
Well,
Liam
like, no offense to Liam, probably not like the first guy on like the speed dial of guys that are much smarter than me that I want to fix all my problems.
I need different people, and like some people who I won't name because I'm trying to actually get like a sense for, hey, can this guy be back? Or things like that.
I mean, Liam's my outside of the box thinker.
Yes, that's what I mean. I have a lot, and I mean a lot of time for Liam.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's so outside of the box that I don't think he has a box. I don't think the box exists.
I'll say this video that we'll make so far has 2, I would say, Seth Jones level trades, like in terms of outside the box kind of thinking, and then you look at it and you say, but fuck if it doesn't make sense. If only some people can get creative. So we'll we'll have that.
Can I have an update from one of the things that we discussed over the weekend with the bonus episode after Game 6 of Sabres Bruins? Mm-hmm. You've put the red car theory into my head, where it's the red car theory is like once you look for red cars, you see how many red cars there are, something like that.
Yeah, they get pulled over more often, something like that.
I thought it was just like that. There are so many red cars that like when you look for them, you notice how many there are. Either way, whatever that theory is, William Eklund trades. Once that seed was planted in our brain, we've seen nothing but William Eklund trades everywhere we look at this point in time. And I don't know why there are so many William Eklund trades.
My algorithm is, I don't even think it's my algorithm. I think they finally fixed it to just be like, hey, here are the thing. You're a hockey guy. Here's the hockey stuff. It's all William Eklund trades. And in the same weekend, I saw a...
That's so true. Red car equals Tim Washy.
Tim Washy.
Oh,
100%.
Yes.
To confirm, according to Google, the red car theory is exactly what you're saying, Pete. It's like once you start looking for red cars, you think there's a lot more red cars because you're noticing them.
Okay. In the same weekend, we saw a proposed, I believe this was from FanDuel, a proposed William Eklund for Connor McDavid trade. And at the end of the weekend, I saw a Darnell Nurse straight up for William Eklund trade.
Oh my God.
Do you think William Eklund has any like awareness of this happening? Like, do you think he realizes you think he goes on Twitter or something? He's like, damn, my name is real hot in the streets right now for some reason.
trending.
I can't really figure out why. Yeah.
I think chat's yelling at us to stop trying to trade William Eklund. The thing is, we're fucking not.
It's not us.
It's not us. That's what I'm saying. It's just everywhere I look is a William Eklund trade. I have no part in this.
Every time a Sharks fan seemingly wants anything, they say, we'll trade William Eklund. And now I'm starting to see, I think the like Darnell Nurse for Eklund thing I saw was probably a hockey person being like, well, who's on the trade block? Who can they get back for this guy? Seeing William Eklund's name a lot. Looks like the Sharks are trying to get rid of that guy for some reason. Diminished asset or something? I'll take him. Sure. We didn't start it, but it is happening. Yeah, red car theory. You are going to see a lot of William Eklund on your timeline these days. After the Canadiens game, we're going to get to some Canadian Sabres. We're going to get to a lot of stuff here.
I do also want to talk about like the lightning of it all too, because I think there's some conversations
that's coming. There. After the game, here is Martin St. Louis.
We're not leaving! Still keep going! Where to even begin? I'll tell you what. You're not going to win many games shooting 10 pucks down there, but you're going to win this one! We didn't have 9. There were 9! 9! Round up. No heck of a job.
He's more than just a couple of thighs, folks.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot to digest there. Where do you want to go first?
Do you want the history lesson?
Yeah, you mentioned this, and I had no idea that this had any history.
Okay, so in 2014, I was covering the Boston Bruins, and the Canadiens and Bruins met in, I believe, the second round, right? Bruins beat Red Wings first round, played Canadiens second round. Canadiens won that series. I believe this was the infamous "I'm going to fucking kill you" series,
Mm-hmm.
in
Dale
which,
Weiss.
yes, in which Milan Lucic said to a Canadiens player, Dale Weiss, "I am going to effing kill you," and then maybe someone blabbed about it. And I want to say game one, because I tweeted like, oh, like there's a Bruins tie in here and something, and a Canadiens fan, love Canadiens fans, was just like, I just Googled this and it didn't happen. Yeah, it did. I was there. In I think game one, celebrating either a goal or something, Torrey Krug like was doing this, and like Bruins players I think were into that thing at the time, and Canadiens players and media spent the rest of the series, and I don't know how much I want to put on the Canadiens players, but I do know they participated in it, in kind of spreading this the Bruins are being disrespectful this series. In every scrum I was in, for any player on either team, I heard a question or an answer about the Bruins being disrespectful. And I did not know what was going on. I was Tucker Carlson this series, where like a reporter would be like, do you think the Bruins are being disrespectful with how they're banging their chests? And Canadiens player would answer it diplomatically.
And then there's DJ going, what is going on?
I would follow it up and I'd be like,
who's asking for this?
But don't you think they were just doing this thing? Like, is this like, well, what are we talking about here? And I remember Claude was asked something in French about it. And he said something like, I don't know, maybe he was like hitting his like Bruins crest as like a Boston Strong thing. I don't fucking
Maybe he
know,
had acid
man.
reflux.
Yeah, maybe he had the agita.
Yeah.
And it was
Maybe he was trying to make sure his jersey didn't get ripped off, so they didn't see the buzzer that was taped to his chest.
yeah. And
Excuse me?
Houston Astros very famously was
Oh, yes.
Jose Altuve.
Don't accuse Torrey Krug of cheating.
So
No, what do you
maybe
mean? The Astros didn't cheat.
Someone said maybe they had just seen Fear, the movie Fear, where Mark Wahlberg wants to make it look like her
right.
dad beating.
Yeah.
He just does like a,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, starts beating himself up that way. Weird way to do it. Here's from Dan Kagan's story after the Canadiens won that series. Montreal dominated again, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Plus, the Canadiens used every slight against them as motivation. They openly talked about the Bruins disrespecting them, from Torrey Krug and Milan Lucic pounding their chests early in the series to Lucic flexing his muscles in Game 5 and Sean Thornton squirting a water bottle at PK Subban at the end of the same game. I did forget about that.
Great behavior.
Yeah, it was kind of funny behavior. But yes, this was something that was happening. It's not the biggest deal in the world, and maybe I remember it because I like, not to be like, I was a beat writer, so I know it, but like, you are so in the fucking weeds when you are a beat writer that maybe things mean more to you or they strike you as being a bigger story.
You get lost in that bubble.
You get lost in that bubble, and it's why I would lose my mind listening to Felger and stuff like that, but I would listen to him while I was a beat writer to be like, what are the people who are not at every second of this thinking of this? Like, what? Like, how does it look to them? And that's why I like doing this show, because we're a little more zoomed out and we can have a little more fun with it. But yeah, that was a thing, which was that the Canadiens and their media were permeating this sort of thing of the Bruins are being disrespectful because they're doing like a So it's cool to see it come full circle. Whatever floats your boat or finds your nostrum out.
At the end of the day, that's just a very, very clunky and inaccurate Wolf of Wall Street reference.
That was, he botched that so bad.
But
Torrey Krug would never.
it is what it is. Like, I love Marty St. Louis. That looks like a fun team. I did like that Marty St. Louis was talking about, like, he just stays out of that locker room most of the time. That's what he said. He was like, yeah, that is, as a player, as a former player, like, that is the player's space. I don't really go in there very much. This was an opportunity where, like, that was an exciting win, an exciting moment for the group, and that's what he went in there with. And I like it a lot. I respect the hell out of it. One thing that I did just think of when you're talking about Canadiens fans finding ways to complain about things that are small and fairly insignificant, we did mention in the first round that Sabres fans started picking up some Canadiens-like tendencies. This could be an all-time whiny series.
Oh, yes, Sean. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't have much of a feeling about it other than, yeah.
You're ready to whine.
It could. It certainly could. Yeah, I mean, Sabres fans cry. Habs fans cry. The French cry. Going to be a lot of crying.
I feel like you guys are going to fucking hate each other by the end of this series.
Yeah.
Like, the fan bases
so.
are going to want to kill each other.
The last series literally ended with a player doing something that's going to get him suspended for at least 5 games. Because
I think Bruins fans are mad at Charlie McAvoy for that.
I'll just say, don't you fucking dare, not that you would do this, and there's a weird online thing of like rooting for something bad or offensive to happen, so you could say you disagree with the bad or offensive thing that happened. So I do not want this to happen. This would be horrible. If I hear a single boo during the Canadian national anthem, Sean, I'm
I
gone.
mean, that's not
Buffalo
That's
can't
not
do
how
it.
Buffalo-
But
yeah.
Buffalo can't do it because you are choosing to do the Canadian national anthem every
And-
game. So then booing it would be ridiculous, psychotic behavior.
I don't think that would happen. If anything, I feel like Sabres fans would approach it with more like, this is our fucking anthem now. It's like we're gonna sing the shit out of this because this is what we're known for now, is that we sing the Canadian national anthem.
Drown them out.
I don't think they would shun Canada like that.
Okay, Sean, get Cooper 1 ready. The Lightning obviously eliminated, as is their mode, is their experience. You've got obviously
They're lightning maxing.
like Kucherov, bit of a dog for a while in the playoffs right now. There's a lot of questions I would say that you can ask about the Lightning, but just like, where is a coach's mind, especially one as charming as John Cooper, after a game like that where it's been a close series and you were the head coach of Team Canada. You were the better team in the gold medal game. You lost that one too. I thought that John Cooper after the game last night was very interesting. Here's John Cooper.
I think our group took a step back, and I think the same thing about our coaching, about our management. Like, I think the whole organization, we took a step back. I am concerned because we're not trending in the right direction. We've taken big steps backwards.
Heavens. That he doesn't sound happy.
What am
Are
I
they going to
supposed
fire
do
him for that? Are they going to? Do you think he should get fired now?
Yes.
I disagree.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, the joke was that John Cooper complained about his team after because trying to get him fired so he can be the Oilers coach.
Very. I get. I'm seeing the vision now.
Were you not?
Yeah, how am I supposed to just make?
I did not make
those
that connection
3
at
steps
all.
from 1 to 4.
Oh, really?
I did not realize that you were trying to get him
too
fired.
sophisticated.
I mean,
Are you serious? I thought that was so obvious. So when you were expressionless, I was like, geez, just say it was a swing and a miss. God, I thought it was kind of funny. I thought you got it.
I did not realize you were trying to make the jump to like getting him fired so he would be the Oilers coach. I didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that.
Okay, hand up. I'm joking. Hey, you know what? That one's on me.
I mean, like, comedy-wise, I don't know if that's a 10 out of 10 for me, but strategy-wise, well done.
Yeah, but here's what's going to fuck you up. That wasn't John Cooper. That was audio of Leon Draisaitl from his press conference.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it. I mean, I feel like Chad is sort of like on me and Sean's side. But
Not
also,
one person in chat is saying they got it.
Yeah, okay.
But they are saying, that's good.
Yeah, like they we're all on the same page. Is like, you've got a beautiful mind. You can't expect us to understand it.
Someone said John Cooper, Haribo next. I was going to put that in as a little tag, but I was like, that might make it a little confusing. Anyway, here's what John Cooper actually said.
Don't.
As soon as that last buzzer went, that's the feeling I had. I've seen this movie before, and it happened in Milan in February. And all you can ask for your team, whether it was the Olympic tournament or best of 7 playoff, is get better as you go. And I thought we got better as we went, and I thought tonight we played our best game of the series. Like sometimes you win the game and not the score.
Bars.
I mean,
People want to give him shit for that, but
I know. Like, on one hand, I get it. It's a huge loser quote on paper, but we all watched the game.
it's the truth.
The spirit of what is being said there absolutely holds up. And what else is he supposed to say, really? I mean, I don't know. You either cry and be like, well, we were the better team, or you say that. And at the end of the day, you're going to sound like a loser either way because you lost the series. I don't have any problem with what that was being said.
My only small problem could be he was just a little too smooth with it.
He's
like, you
always
did
smooth with
just
it, though. You're,
lose.
you're asking John
criticize
Cooper
him,
to not be smooth.
I know, but
Not
in that
in his
moment,
bag.
like, yeah, he can only look. When Pete's talking Canadians, He can only be
Can only be
spineless,
who
so
you
he's
are.
got to be. He can only be who he is. When John Cooper has just lost a devastating game for the second time this season, he's got to check his cufflinks, shoot him.
Got to go George Clooney on him.
He is who he is.
He just has slightly disappointed high school guidance counselor vibe.
But it's going to be all right.
That's as low as he can go.
He's not
That's
mad
it.
at his kids for smoking weed. He's mad at his kids for smoking weed in the house. He's like, just don't do it. Your mom's going to be upset. Don't do it just do it outside.
It is annoying how consistently smooth he is.
I mean, look, you said the George Clooney thing. Who doesn't remember him talking about his three centers with the coffee cup, just the kind of gangsta-lean posture of his? Chat says that Cooper had that one in his drafts.
I mean, yeah, he already lost that game. He's got experience.
Yeah.
I always
he
forget
knows
he's a
how to
lawyer.
handle that.
He is just like, I always forget he's a lawyer. That he was just like, of course he's like that. He probably was an awesome lawyer.
Yeah, for sure. I would absolutely bet that in a courtroom, he is making the jury swoon.
Juries love him. Juries
Yes.
love John Cooper.
100%.
Okay.
I mean, John Cooper has the Riz for sure.
Big time. Big time.
He has Riz as a loser. That's why at the end of the
Can't turn it
day,
off.
loser quotes are going to come from losers. But he's speaking the truth and he's doing it with Riz, so I respect him.
But that's I think it's a requirement of, in order to be, if you don't know this, in order to be a Montreal Canadiens coach, you need to what?
Speak French.
Speak French.
Speak French. Got to speak French.
I bet John
And-
Cooper could pretend to speak French and sell it as a
well,
lawyer.
John Cooper knows languages. I would be willing to bet he knows multiple languages.
Even if he didn't, I think that he could pass with his confidence.
Well, he's Canadian. They all have to they basically have to learn a little bit of French at some point.
Did not mean to make this a speaking French thing. I was raising the point that for some jobs, they have requirements, Montreal, got to speak French. I think Tampa, you got to be charming. I think that's the number one thing. They went from John Tortorella to briefly Barry Melrose to Guy Boucher to John Cooper. Did they have anyone in there who wasn't charming?
Are
You
we
think
calling
Guy
Torch
Boucher
charming?
is charming?
Yeah.
We went to two different people.
What's that?
You think Torch is charming?
I think Torts
I
is
like
charming.
Torts.
Torts can switch it on and off. He can definitely be charming. He could also be the most abrasive guy in the league. So I don't know where I
Particularly with
land on
media.
that. I don't think that Guy Boucher is charming. Guy Boucher is fucking terrifying.
No, charming in that you're magnetic or interesting. So charming is defined as someone or something that is highly pleasing, delightful, attractive, or fascinating. The fascinating is
Torch
doing the
loses me.
lifting
Yeah.
there for me.
Fascinating for sure.
When they're talking, you're locked in and you leave the press conference and you're like, how about what that guy just said? Even if he didn't say anything. That was always my experience with Guy Boucher. I don't know if charming is the perfect word, but
Fascinating.
maybe just if you want to just say fascinating or magnetic, that's always been the thing with these Lightning coaches. Shout out John Cooper getting the poster today. I didn't think that he'd be a huge talking point today, but he's signed, we believe, not for long, maybe a year. Do you think Tampa would explore a coaching change? They keep losing in the first round.
Yeah, but they lost in the first round twice to the eventual Stanley Cup champion.
Charismatic is the word.
Charismatic.
There you go.
Riz. He's got the Riz.
Yeah, he's got the Riz. Famously, Guy Boucher has the Riz.
They lost in the Stanley Cup or in the first round of the eventual Stanley Cup champion 2 years in a row. Yeah, losing to the Maple Leafs. That one you got to wear. This Canadiens team is pretty good, and they played a really, really tight series and were the much better team in Game 7, and they lost. I would not fire John Cooper. John Cooper is the least of the Lightning's problems in my mind.
I hate to make it about the Oilers, but then would you apply the same thing to Chris Knobloch, where you
because I
say
think that
you only lose to the Stanley Cup champions? Which, no offense to the Ducks, I think that's going to change. But they've lost to, even before he was there, they lose to the Stanley Cup champions every year.
Right, and I don't think that they should have fired Chris Knobloch after they lost to the Stanley Cup champions. I think that things change this year.
Yeah.
And the conversation becomes a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that those two cases are not the same.
Yeah, I would agree. And I do not think they should fire. I don't think Tampa should fire John Cooper. But I was wondering, and maybe that's where I got the idea for playing the Leon audio there. I was wondering if he was like, should I just become a free agent right now?
That's
Get
what I
some
was
there,
going to say.
You know?
I feel like it's way more likely he leaves than they fire him.
Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Which,
I
to
think
be
that's
fair,
very
regardless
much
of what
possibility.
actually happens, like even if they do fire him, it's going to be a mutual parting of the ways because John Cooper's earned that or whatever. But I feel like, I don't know, why not spend 2 years with Connor McDavid and see what happens? If you're John Cooper.
I think that right now the Lightning are extremely fascinating in where they go from here, but I don't think that parting ways with John Cooper, unless John Cooper wants to leave, and I'd be surprised if he wanted to at this point in time. I'd be surprised if, of all the changes that the Lightning make, if they make a bunch of them, if John Cooper is one of them.
I don't know how surprised I would be, but I don't think they should do it. And I agree that if anyone's making that call, it should be John Cooper. What do you think they do otherwise, though? I mean, free agents, Radish has got to come back.
Does he, though?
Bjorkstrand's interesting to me.
Why do you say Radish has to come back? I mean, I think that if he wants to be in the best hockey situation, Radish saying there would make a lot of sense, but he has an opportunity to capitalize on a magnificent contract year that may be too hard to turn down.
Yeah, that's what I mean, what Sean said, which is like Radish has to come back for Radish. If he's smart, he doesn't take whatever bag someone else is offering him, and he goes back to Tampa on really good money, possibly not top dollar. Because even
I don't want to say.
Well, let me say, like, even if he doesn't have the season he had this year, where he scored 20 goals? Was he a 20-goal scorer this year?
Yeah.
He's still like, that's his power play now, so he's going to put up numbers.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about this with Dmitry Filipovich. How much of Radish's success is attributed to Nikita Kucherov?
A lot.
Right.
So
at what point do the Lightning maybe explore Kucherov?
Well, if that's happening, then yeah, you mean you're not getting rid of Kucherov and keeping Radish.
Well, but you're going to have to sign Radish to like a 5-year deal or however long the deal. You're going to have to give him term. And if you're maybe starting to ask some questions about Nikita Kucherov and where he fits into where this team stands, big picture wise, that's you kind of have to think about both sides of that coin.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I feel like there's no right answer to where the Lightning are right now, but they could very well be at a crossroads in terms of readjusting that core.
Yeah,
and making some big swings and big changes.
They need another center. They definitely need another center.
Two things. Well, I guess. Well, yeah. Two things. First, I don't want to necessarily like. I guess I disagree with like despite what I said, the idea that if Radish is smart, he'll go back to Tampa. Like, I think it's just really just a matter of whether or not he wants his money or he wants to keep fucking balling. Which, like, the keep balling part is certainly not guaranteed, especially if you're talking about Kucherov or whatever. And also, I don't know. I don't really care if Kucherov sucked in the playoffs. Like, you don't get rid of that guy. You're not there without him.
I'm very Dallas Starsian with the Lightning, which is like you still have a really good roster. Mm-hmm. You do need another center, and there's a great piece on the Kitchener Rangers that Jeff Merrick and Amil and our friends at the Nation put out. It's really, really good, and they sit down with Sam O'Reilly. Like, when I say they need another center, I don't mean like break in a young third line center type. I think that they need to get like, I don't think that they could make Robert Thomas happen, but I think they need another top six center.
I would probably agree with that. Like I'm a believer in Point and Cirelli, but you can't.
I think that they ask so much of Point.
Yeah, they do. And he's a really good player, but I think they ask a lot of Cirelli.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Cirelli is. I think that they're hoping Cirelli is more of a top 6 guy than he may be.
You know who I could see them signing? I don't know what their cap situation is. Like, and this isn't top 6, so maybe I mean like a 3.5 or a 2.5 line center. Charlie Coyle.
Mid-6.
Yeah, like a middle 6 type guy.
Chad also asked, like, why would you move off Kucherov? Well, I mean, I don't think that they're trying to rush into moving off Kucherov, but he has, 1 year after this year? 2 years? He has 1 year after this year. So next year is his final year of his deal. You got to ask those questions. And he's got 1 goal in his last 22 playoff games. It's a question that I think is going to come up.
Canucks traded Quinn Hughes. Like you have to commit to something at some point.
Yeah,
whatever your plan is.
Last thing on the Atlantic teams is well, first of all, I'm going to give this with the Canadiens advancing from Ben Pope of the Chicago Sun-Times. Experience gap between the remaining 4 East teams is enormous. Playoff games played over the last 5 years. That includes this year. Hurricanes, 60. Canadiens, 12. Flyers, 7. Sabres, 6. That shit rules. I fuck every single tweet that I saw yesterday of this will be the first time that a Florida team isn't in the Cup final, or this will be the first postseason without these teams. Good. Awesome. Love it. Shout out the mushy middle graduating.
Yeah, we've been waiting for it.
Yeah.
Especially in the Eastern Conference. Is experience overrated? Got to ask that question this morning.
Got to ask the question. Another thing, this is very fun. There's some weird scheduling stuff going on in the second round. The Wild and Avalanche have 3 days off.
4, I think.
3. I think. 3 days off between games, which is insane. Never seen that ever. If the Hurricanes sweep the Flyers and the Sabres and Canadiens go the distance, the Hurricanes would have 11 days off. And that's a lot of ifs, but I'll say those are 2 possible ifs. Like I don't think the Hurricanes. I wouldn't say the Hurricanes are going to sweep the Flyers, but could you see it happening?
That seems more likely to me.
Sure.
That seems more likely to me than Habs Sabres going 7.
I could see Habs Sabres going long.
I get maybe this is good luck.
Second round bye?
What I said. No. I'll repeat what I said prior to the first round. I'll say it once, and if you ever suggest that I said it again, I'll deny it until I die. I am fucking terrified. Like, I know I said a lot of, like, I want the Habs. That was simply for cinematic sake. I think it will be very entertaining, and there'll be a lot that goes on around that series. The Habs scare me, man, a lot, and in a much more real and serious and hockey-based way than the Bruins scared me.
Sean is not a little stitious. He is superstitious because he said that exact same thing before the Bruins series.
Yeah,
like word for word. I know what you're doing.
That's what I will say. The Sean has shown great respect for the opponent in both these series so far.
But this is different than the Bruins. Like, the Bruins was definitely a little bit more of a, like, don't know what the Sabres are going to be like, inexperience versus some experience type of thing. But, like, I knew the Sabres were a better team than the Bruins. That is certainly not, at best case scenario, these are equitable teams. I think the Habs are probably the better team. But not by a lot. So it could go either way, but I'm definitely scared. That's the last time I'll say that.
Also, shout out to Young Gritty, put me on the billboard and really pissing off Sabres fans. Those Friday and Saturday was a real adventure in my DMs and mentions with Sabres fans, thinking that I earnestly said that the Bruins would have a first-round bye in the playoffs.
We got to peel back the curtain a little bit. I missed a bunch of texts about this, but Young Gritty made a billboard that said, the Bruins have a first-round bye, Pete Blackburn. Pete then responded to it with a meme about spreading misinformation on the internet, which suggests that Pete didn't say that. And then Young Gritty clarified in our group chat, like, hey, Pete, you said this, and sent a clip of you saying it. And Pete, I think your story is, but I was joking, which like,
yes.
you were definitely joking. I think Young Gritty was joking too, though.
I also didn't like. I believe it came as a result of Sean misspeaking and saying there was a first round bye for
probably
for like the Bruins, and then it came up later in that episode, and we were doing like some sort of different segment. I was like, oh yeah, and the Bruins have a first round bye, huh?
I thought that was early in the show because you said Young Gritty will have the answer to this, but. I was like, oh, you're saying they have a first round bye? What do you think of that, Sean? And I think that was like an early in the show setting things up kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember, and ultimately it doesn't matter because regardless, Pete was very obviously, and I think even in the tone in the clip taken out of context, was very obviously not being serious. But it's also, we're talking about Twitter.
But are you allowed to do the I didn't say that? If you said
well,
I said
it's misinformation,
but it's not misinformation to quote you saying something that you said. That's what I'm saying.
I think it is misinformation. If you're taking something out of context and framing it in a way that is not accurate to the way that it was actually said, I think that is attempting to spread misinformation.
We'd have to rewatch it, but I felt that I felt that Young Gritty was getting unfairly maligned in the group chat, and he would like apologize. He was like, sorry man, like you want me to take that shit down? And I was like, no, you fucking said it's a joke.
I feel bad for how bad Young Gritty felt, but I also felt bad about my mental state when Sabres fans were like, you fucking R word all over the place, being like, how dare you? I was like, oh my God, there's so much tape of me respecting the Sabres.
I tweeted something yesterday positive about the Avalanche in the first period, and an Avalanche fan must have misread it because they responded with something so vile and so horrible. And I went to copy and paste and send to the group and be like, I said something nice about the Avalanche, and look what someone said back to me, and they deleted the tweet. So like, they just saw me tweet about the Avalanche, and they were like, cucks, and then we're like, oh, what is? Oh, all right, he's good.
Funniest thing that happened to me last night was I tweeted during the Avalanche game, and I was like, I'm so glad the Avalanche aren't playing the Kings anymore. And a Kings fan called me the R word and was like, nobody knows what this means, you fucking idiot. And then just got absolutely demolished by other Kings fans being like, we know exactly what this means. And he's right. The Kings suck.
I had a Sabres fan tweet and delete at me telling me that because I said that Jeremy Swayman was better in the series than Alex Lyon, objective fact, no one that watched that series at all, I think, could really disagree.
Closer than you think, but go on.
Maybe. Alex Lyon didn't play the whole series.
Didn't allow goals in that time.
That is true. But they told me that I should. It was. They asked me what Bruin Kool-Aid I was drinking, and then said Swayman better ? Maybe I should go to Boston and stay with my friends. They're trying to kick me out of the city for not being loyal to the crest. Not being loyal to the crest.
Damn. Maybe you should come to Boston, Sean. That's crazy.
And I forgot to mention, the best detail of that was that they attached the clip of me saying that to the stat from the Avs, the Colorado Avalanche stat truck via the Sabres, Buffalo Sabres stat truck, about how it was the Alex Lyon allowed just 5 goals through 5 appearances for the first time, like the most random cherry pick stat, and they used that as proof that Alex Lyon was better than Jeremy Swayman.
An Avalanche fan in the chat says, hey, like, we're not all like that. I'm a fan of the show, whatever. Like, we're talking about the crazy online people, and that is every single fan base has that. The Avalanche ones are funnier to me.
Yeah.
Because I just think there's more of them. I could be, or I would say a higher percentage of Avalanche fans in my experience are that, but I still think of Avalanche fans as awesome people.
Avalanche fans acknowledge it too. Like when they go up against the Stars, both of their fan bases are insane naked people in the streets trying to fight each other.
Yeah.
Ultimate chaos fan matchup would absolutely be Hurricanes versus Avalanche because they're
Chaos
both
fans, yeah.
psychotic and like rabid.
But I don't know that I would have any fun with that.
I mean, yeah.
Like, it would just
only
be,
because like you wouldn't be able to talk about either team without getting demolished by either one or two sides.
Yeah, it would just be like an actual war.
Yeah.
Like between two countries, and you'd just be like, I wish that wasn't happening.
This is interesting to me. Chad is now discussing like, hey, block everything that you don't want to see on Twitter, which I think is one way to go
wanna
about
see
it.
this
But
stuff, though.
what's that? I think
So
I
I wanna
actually
see
think
this.
I'm gonna be an old person here. I actually think it's very important that we not lose our resolve to be able to see like things that we don't like. I'm not talking about like horrible things or whatever, but like even when like we posted a clip of Matthew Tkachuk talking and a bunch of people were mad about it, and like I felt bad that they felt bad and that they were mad about it, but I do think that like we all have the resolve to see shit that we don't like and scroll past it. And I think that if we make it so, like, the last thing you want to be in is a bubble. I promise you. I always say, talk to everyone, talk to dummies, talk to smart people, keep it respectful, all that shit. Like, I don't think I would do the like block everything.
Do a lot of
Everybody thing.
muting.
Yeah, I will mute the Christ out of people.
Yeah.
I'm muting.
Do any of that. I genuinely, like, in my heart of hearts, thoroughly enjoy when people get on the internet and make a fool of themselves. Like, if you want, like, the tweet I was just talking about, I'm like, that's supposed to bother me? I think that shit's hilarious.
All right. Well, was the Avalanche game supposed to bother you? Because it was K-Razzie, to quote Ron Swanson. The Avalanche had a 3-0 lead in this game, blew it, and still won 9-6. The Wild, famously, were coming off a series in which they did not need to worry about the other team scoring 5-on-5 goals.
Yeah.
And they allowed 7 of them.
I think this is hilarious now because there are stats on both sides of just like mogging the first round opponent. For like the Wild scored more goals against the Avalanche than the Kings scored in their entire series, and the Avalanche scored more goals at 5-on-5 than the Wild allowed in their previous series against the Stars. So I thought it was crazy that during intermission for the TNT panel was like, this game sucks, right? They didn't like say that, but they were like, there's no defense. This is some bullshit in this game. And I was big Stephen A. Smith. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, we do not care.
Yeah.
We do not care. That game was fucking electric. It was not the cleanest game I've ever seen in my life, but we do not care. That was some fun-ass playoff hockey.
Can I be fully transparent about my experience with this game? Because it's not great.
What?
So, I mean, it won't be much of bearing a lead here. My mom is currently on her way to Curacao. She had a flight out of Buffalo this morning to Atlanta to Curacao, I believe. I don't know if there's other stops involved there, but get a text message late last night saying that there's crew issues at the Buffalo airport. Flight canceled. Only way you're getting to Atlanta on time is if you get to Rochester, New York right now. So I, last night, suddenly, without any planning, had to drive my mom to Rochester, New York and back. I get back. I open up my phone. I look down. 5-5, third period. I'm like, what in the actual fuck just happened? I missed all of it. I missed the entire game. Except for not the entire game. I saw like 8 goals after that point, but still missed almost the entire thing because I was trying to be a good son.
Great son behavior.
Yep.
That is tough. I would be in hell. I would look at my phone and be like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
I was so happy. Ellen's birthday was this weekend. We chose to celebrate it on Saturday. And like the hockey gods blessed me in the most like
Didn't need to watch Saturday night.
Unbelievable way possible, because Saturday's game was very missable. No disrespect to the Carolina Hurricanes, just took care of business. Saturday was the
more
day that I
disrespect to
would
the
have
Flyers
been
than anything.
I would have been distraught if I missed what happened yesterday in both games. So sorry, Sean. That sucks. Electric game. How do you do we feel any sort of way about the series and where it might go based off of how last night played out?
I mean, I wonder if we get a little Gustafsson at some point, if that the series is going to continue that way, because Minnesota does have that club in their bag. Otherwise, this is not going to be a high scoring series. That's quite ridiculous. Like, do we have Bednar post game? This was the best exchange of the postseason so far.
How do you explain what just happened?
I cannot.
All right, all done.
Yeah, I mean, if you scripted that one,
yeah, he couldn't. He can't. I don't want to hear him talk. You can't explain what. How do you explain what you have done? I do not.
The best part. If you watch the rest of that, he does the I can't. If you skip that, you're crazy. Blah blah blah. And then there's like a pause, and then the reporter's like, "All right, but can you explain it, please?" He basically followed up being like, "Okay, but I do need a quote, so give me something."
No, I don't. I definitely don't think that you're going to get 15 goal games the rest of the way here. Both teams are going to get their shit together. I think that the Wild really need a Joel Eriksson in this series.
Yes, and I think that this
and Jonas Brodin.
This is going to be a one that got away. I mean, it's funny going from watching a Game 7 to watching a Game 1 because the stakes are always so high, and you could argue that the further along in the playoffs you are, hey, Game 1 of the second round is more important than Game 7 of the first round. But since teams aren't literally fighting for their lives, there's less of that tension that exists throughout the game. And I come away from that being like, Wild, you were down 3-0, and you had this game.
I know.
On the road at the President's Trophy winners. That's not a hey, we were down 3-0, so we probably should have lost, and we lost. This is one where hair will be pulled in Minnesota the longer the series goes on, because I think there will be moments that you look back on Game 1 and be like, well, fuck, kind of needed to win that one.
Wanna know a fun stat? The Wild had 3 power plays last night, and their penalty kill outshot the power play.
Love it.
3 shots on the penalty kill.
That sounds like
to
a
2
Sabres
shots on goal on the power play through 3 opportunities. I had 2 takeaways from this game. Number 1, credit to the Los Angeles Kings, because it is genuinely impressive that you made the Colorado Avalanche so fucking boring in the first round. And also, credit to the Colorado Avalanche, because they swept the Los Angeles Kings in a grinded out series, won all of those games, and then as soon as things were opened up and you get into track meet, they still fucking win that game. That's how impressive the Colorado Avalanche are. They can win a game no matter what it looks like, and at the end of the day, I think I'm leaning man, maybe these guys are as good as the regular season told us they were.
The Avalanche showed their revenge bod last night. Yeah. They were saddled down by the LA Kings and had gotten a little frumpy, and they were able to spread their wings last night. And they were like, look at all this weird shit that can happen in a hockey game. Thank God. Yeah, that one was a blast. I'm just not expecting to see more of it. But yes, you are right. They need Brodin back, the Wild. They need Eriksson Ek back. And Cale Makar needs to keep getting hurt for a little bit and then coming back.
Do you think we're going to have how do I want to phrase this? Do you think at the end of the series we're going to have a big told you Makar is better than Quinn Hughes type narrative?
I don't want any of that.
I don't think so, because it's not that Quinn Hughes has been bad at all.
It's just that Makar's
awesome.
just fucking.
I think that both of these players. I mean, ultimately the answer is probably yes, because people want to have that conversation no matter what the fuck happens.
Yeah,
so probably yes, but I think that both guys are going to hold their own in different ways.
Yeah, fair. They're both fucking awesome to watch.
As you mentioned, the Carolina Hurricanes took care of business on Saturday night a pretty lopsided performance, although this was a lopsided performance in which the team that played better won, so built different than the Tampa Bay Lightning. Logan Stankoven scores as he continues to do since last trade deadline, March's trade. Mikko Rantanen, 10 goals in 24 playoff games for the Dallas Stars. Logan Stankoven, 10 goals in 20 playoff games for the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes, you have, with an extension, won the trade.
I mean, that also has to come with a caveat that 6 of those goals from Stankoven have come in the last 5 games. And last year, Mikko was a fucking dog.
So
3 of his came in 1 game.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, yes, but they're all pretty concentrated, I would say.
But it's to say, like, Stankoven, stocks were very high. He was having kind of a weird rookie year. They trade him as the centerpiece in that Rantanen trade. And it's, I guess time will tell. They give him that extension that looked team-friendly from the jump. And now he's a playoff dog. Logan Stankoven, Conn Smythe, that would be amazing.
I mean, this
That's
is
like the most serious one that we've
extremely
said,
rare case of like what I'll consider a 3-team trade, because there are 3 big pieces here with Colorado, Dallas, and Carolina. And I think that all 3 teams should be very happy with how they made out in those deals.
Eileen says, let's look at the regular season. Got a show to do today. It's the playoffs. Can't talk about
season.
What's that?
Also,
So
the Hurricanes have no problem in the regular season. They've just needed that playoff dog to carry the scoring, and they're getting it in Logan Stankoven. I wonder at what point does it look more unsustainable? Does it dry up? But like Stankoven, Hall, Jackson Blake,
Yeah.
fucking dogs.
Yeah, love seeing Taylor Hall thrive in the postseason. Okay, let's get to the Edmonton Oilers showing folks how it's done, because breakup days were getting a little chummy. They were getting a little too fun. There's only supposed to be one good breakup day, the team that wins the cup. Every other team is supposed to have a bad, sad, angry breakup day. After the Blackhawks and Panthers fucked around and had fun, Oilers said, no. We will show you some fucking terrible vibes. On Saturday, you probably saw clips floating around of McDavid's press conferences, of Leon's press conferences. I don't want to show a million videos, so we've got 2 clips of Leon. Not going to show the one where he talks about Connor McDavid's future, but he does talk about, we've got McDavid signed for 2 more years, and then God knows where that goes, so we got to figure shit out. Here is probably the most viral of the clips of him talking about his concern with the team.
Going out in the first round here after a couple of years of going to a cup final, you know how much you guys want to win. Are you concerned that organizationally this has moved in the wrong direction? And how concerning is that for you?
Is that spec?
Yes, I am concerned about that.
Sounds like no. Yeah, it does sound like it.
And a little bit of that leads into, obviously as players, like I said before, like we didn't do a good enough job of, properly winning games, and I don't like using the terminology of taking the regular season serious, because we do. We go into every game and we try to do it right. We say the right things, but I think you really have to, in regular season form these moments. You have to get comfortable in these moments, and we didn't do that this year, and it ended up, showing in the first round here. So. But yes, I am concerned, because we're not trending in the right direction. We've taken big steps backwards, and we got to get a grip of this and head back in the right direction.
Okay, I am concerned because we are not trending in the right direction. We've taken steps backwards. Saturday was like an appreciate Leon Draisaitl day. Like there was an actual hockey game played Saturday, and the only thing that I feel people were talking about in hockey were like, did you see what Leon Draisaitl said? He said what everyone was thinking. And I think people want to know that they're thinking that. And we talked about like assurances that were given to players of like, hey, don't worry, we're working on it. And now I think the players are like, tell us exactly what you're working on. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I think
The concepts of a plan.
I mean, that is a tremendous answer from Leon Draisaitl, and I think that it is very forthcoming, very honest, and very appropriate. Absolutely zero problem with anything said there. I love Leon, great player, but also very authentic person. And I think that Oilers fans probably don't want to hear the level of concern coming out of his mouth, but at the same time, probably also do want to hear that level of concern because it's not complacency.
Yeah. Do you take that as, and Pierre LeBrun threw out, and I love Pierre, like a very useless tweet saying like, hey, maybe Leon one day will want to leave, which is what you could say about it. Does that sound like someone who wants to leave? Because I honestly did not get a drop of that.
Well, I mean, the wanting to leave element of it is how fed up he sounds. Like I think that he sounds fed up. And when push comes to shove, where does that lead a player? That's the question that's to be answered. Do I think that he is banging down the door of the front office to say, get me out of here? Absolutely not. I think he's banging down the door to say, fucking fix this before I do want to get out of here.
Exactly. And I love that. Like there was some of that with Rasmus Dahlin, Sean, in Buffalo.
Yeah, I think it's not like he wants to get out of here, but it's like I will. It's big.
Right.
Like I'll turn this car around energy. Like I don't want to cancel this fucking road trip, but if you're gonna keep acting up, then I will cancel this fucking road trip. Yeah, but I think there's a distinct difference between like it's not like like you said, he's not banging down the door asking to leave, but he's making it very clear that if shit doesn't change, he will. I do like that he was just like, I am scared. Please put in the news that I am scared. Like, he let it out.
Yeah. But it wasn't whiny. It was just like very matter of fact, very like
blunt.
Listen, yeah, right. And
a lot of B chat in the chat,
Yes.
wondering what the B on his hat stood for, and a lot of people are saying it stands for blunt.
I mean,
or back to Germany.
Can I promise you what I would have done back in my beat writer days?
I'm very distracted by a chat saying that I got Ellen a manual lawnmower for summer.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
If in my beat writer days, I absolutely would have done this. If I were asking a question, I would have gone, Leon, you have a B on your head, and I would start to answer. I would start to ask my question. You ever do that?
You have a B on your.
You have a B on your hat.
Like the animal?
I grew up with the animals, bees, those animals. Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on.
Bee on your head. Don't call me a bee head.
Yeah. I grew up with a
Bees
kid
are
who whenever
animals.
he would always go up to people wearing Red Sox hats and be like, you have a bee on your head.
It's so annoying. I hate that kid.
Go ahead, Sean.
Bees are animals.
Bees are animals. Shout out Maroon 5.
Bees are people too.
Are or aren't?
Are.
Well, you made it sound like you were saying bees
I just thought it was funny that that instead of
Penguins are
saying
people
like
too.
the
insect,
insects,
you said animal.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I thought you were suggesting that bees aren't animals because that's an argument I've had, that people argue that insects aren't animals, and those people are dumb people. But I've had that argument before.
You get in arguments with people over whether bees are animals?
Listen, you got to understand, and I'm saying this with whatever amount of respect is deserved, the education system in Arizona, not good. So people think that animals and mammals are the same thing. They are not. Mammals are animals. All animals are not mammals.
Okay. Well, Leon also addressed, and this clip wasn't there were a bunch of clips that went around, so like you've probably seen them all. This was one that didn't. He talked about his comments before the Olympic break, and we talked about this at the time it happened. After a loss to the Flames in February, he said, quote, "This league is too hard to just lollygag through games and try to get winning streaks going. You need everybody. It starts with coaches, everybody. You're never going to win if you have 4 or 5 guys going and it starts at the top. We can be better. Our leaders can be better. We'll take the break and regroup." And everybody was all like, hey, he's talking about the coaches. Here's him talking about the coaches.
My comments came from a general objective of our organization, of our team, and I don't like singling out anyone. So in that interview, I know it was perceived as like I went after the coach and all this, and yes, I did go after a coaching staff, but I also said like I have to be better, our leaders have to be better. Like I think our group took a step back. And I think the same thing about our coaching, about our management. Like, I think the whole organization, we took a step back, and that needs to be fixed. And at the end of the day, I can only control what I can control, though. And I have to be honest with myself. My details slipped away from me, not up to my standard, and that's something that I will change. But that whole thing was, I'm just generalizing our whole team, our whole organization. This was not about one coach, or I think we all just needed to be better.
I wasn't saying our coaches are bad. I was saying our coaches, players, and management were bad. Why didn't anyone fucking get it? I was saying management was bad too.
That's a fair distinction.
That was big. I said that shit.
Yeah. That was when I texted in the group. I was like, okay, watching the whole thing now, I recommend I think it's 13 minutes long. There isn't one question or answer in that where you're like, okay, 3x speed, fast forward or whatever. Like everything had so much substance, and it was, people say like refreshing honesty or whatever, but like it just felt like you got to tap into something that we usually don't get to tap into.
Oh no, yeah, it was all on the table. You could have asked him like anything at that presser, and I feel like he would have given you his complete honest thoughts.
He even talked about he was like 2024, that was our best team. And he named like so many guys they got rid of.
I wish you were on the beat, man. You could have been like, well, what do you think about the gross jerseys? You'd be like, oh yeah, those things are disgusting. I hope we never wear them again.
How about Leon? Some games you wore, it was like a very cream forward. I know the one you're talking about, and it was gross. We called them the gross. I know that like everyone was calling them the gross jersey. I called them the gross jersey too. Do you think he wants Knobloch back based on all that?
I mean, he said the coaching staff sucked. I don't know if he wants Knobloch back, but I mean, he said the coaching staff sucked and the players sucked. I would imagine he probably wants a lot of changes.
Yeah, I did used to have the best questions, by the way, on the beat. David Krejci, I'm going to toot my own horn. David Krejci, the first game that Milan Lucic played back in Boston, someone asked, they were like, hey, what was it like playing with Milan Lucic? And he was like, well, it was so funny. He'd have these big moments, and like it's like he would take over games, and it was all you could focus on. That like that game, like when we came back against Toronto, when we were down 4-1 in that game. And everything was, I remember after that game, everything was just all about like, Luch did this, Luch did that, Luch did that one. Like it was a team effort, but like everyone just made everything about Luch. So I, with a straight face, followed up. It was like, when you think back to that, you guys came back against Montreal, Toronto, you were down 4-1. How much of that was just Luch dominating? Sometimes players liked it, sometimes players didn't.
Did that register?
He was just, I think he was like, sometimes he was receptive to it. I think that time, because like the scrum was too big. Marchand liked my shit. I don't know if everybody did.
I mean, I saw you tweeted this weekend that like if you were an Oilers beat writer, you would have asked Bowman, why do you think you deserve to be back? Or why do you think you shouldn't be fired?
Yeah, which for the first time
famously,
ever, DJ would have asked the GM
there's
that
a
question.
track record and precedent of you asking a general manager why.
No, wait, it wasn't a general manager, was it?
It was Don Sweeney, was it not?
It was Sweeney.
He asked Don Sweeney, he was like, why do you think you shouldn't be fired?
I say, why is Cassidy gone and not you? I did say, I know I'm going to sound like a jerk here. But like
off the hook, then.
That's big. No offense.
I know I'm going to sound like a jerk here. Why do you suck?
Let me say something that a jerk would say.
Yeah.
No, because the previous question was, and I'd gone to that press conference. I'm not being a tough guy here. I went to that press conference to make sure somebody asked something like that. And the question that was asked before was like, there's a lot of conversation amongst fans as to what the move should have been postseason, and it ends up being that Cassidy is gone. Like, how do you feel about fans thinking different things about what? And it was like kind of getting at it, but not completely. And I was like, just as a follow up to that, why weren't you fired? Which, like, I hope someone, and I don't think they did, but I hope someone at the Bowman press conference did that. I watched Bowman's press conference. I was not impressed with his answers, but I am hand up. I am not impressed with Stan Bowman. I don't
It
want
would be a little.
What's
It'd
that?
be a little different in the Bowman situation though, because nobody's been fired yet. So being like, why do you still have your job when they haven't made any changes?
True.
Would be a little different than being like, why were you the one that kept your job instead of this person?
Nobody has been thrown under the bus yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to re-eulogize the Oilers. I think that what we did on Friday's episode had a lot of good stuff, and if anyone wants that, they can get that there. But like, we weren't not going to play that Leon audio. Like, that was.
I mean,
people
anybody
can
like
get
saying
mad.
Making it about the Oilers when one of the best players in the world has a very interesting press conference about the most fascinating state of one of the prominent teams in the NHL. We're going to do that for
And it's
team.
also just like you kind of said, that is such a rare, like any sport, any athlete, you rarely get answers like that, especially from a guy who is not like, doesn't have a foot out of the door. Like, it'd be one thing if Marner gave answers like that at the end of the season last year, but like, for a guy who at least seems for the time being to be committed, to be that honest. And that's what I was going to say earlier about whether or not he wants Knoblauch back. Like, I really don't think he cares, but I feel like what's most important to him is that shit gets figured out. Like, if they have honest conversations with Knoblauch and he commits to making changes, like, I think that's all that Leon actually wants. Not necessarily, I don't think there needs to be changes, any specific changes. They just need changes for the better.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a fair read, where like there's an understanding that Chris Knoblauch brought you to the Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, and there's an understanding that you can play a winning style of hockey under Chris Knoblauch. It's just we don't have the answer to these questions because we have not been around the Edmonton Oilers for the past year and change. But like, what is going on there, and why has this team not been able to get it back on the rails? And why is the belief dwindling?
Yes. The last thing I'll say about what Leon did is it was also great because was any of that disrespectful?
No. That's
like that wasn't disrespectful
That's
to.
what I'm saying. Like,
not disrespectful,
it wasn't
not
emotional at all.
whiny, no negative tone, other than just this is where we are and this is why it is unacceptable.
Actually, you know who that kind of reminded me of? He could get a little disrespectful with it, but I think that maybe was just because he was so direct. Bruce Cassidy was always like that in the media, where like you ask him like, hey, kind of tough way to lose that game. And he would like break down in detail why they fucked up, naming the players' names and everything.
The problem.
And then you'd be like, well,
that's why he was good on TV.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
He's honest to a fault. And I think that doesn't really apply to Leon because Leon picks his spots. And I think Leon comes from a player's angle of a place where like he's not really responsible for, like, he's not throwing individuals under the bus, and he's not really responsible for taking care of the rest of the team.
And he also, not that he needed to do this because he was still one of the better players in the NHL this year, but he also said, like, last year I was like an elite defensive player. I didn't think that I was as good defensively this year. So like I have contributed to this as well. Last thing I'll say from all those press conferences, McDavid's stuff was really good. He said something about some guys need to not just treat this like a job. Speculating. I think he's talking about Tristan Jarry. There was enough shit this year about like how he looked in practice and is he a hard worker or whatever. And I'm not trying to pile on the guy when he's down, but like,
well, you famously said that you fucking hate him.
I was joking.
Put that on a billboard, young gritty.
Yeah. I think, and I'm making plans on what they can do and everything. Like I don't think Jarry can be back, but that we've already eulogized them. Let's look at on breakup days. Do you have something?
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that John Chaika is now the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs officially. If you want thoughts on that, go back last week to the Steve Peters episode. We asked Stevie Petey about Chaika, and that was a fascinating listen. I'm fascinated by nobody in Toronto even giving this guy a chance. Like, everybody in Toronto is already burying this guy day one of the job, which is stunning to me. I think there's plenty of reason to be skeptical, and there's plenty of reason to be like, well, this team probably isn't fucking going anywhere and vibes are so bad right now. But it's a blank slate. And I very rarely see a guy come in on day one. Even Stan Bowman had let's see what he can do.
Not for me.
Not from you, but I mean, it was not unanimously like, oh, they fucked up again.
They were like, winning team brings on winning general manager. That makes sense. Not looking at the details closely enough.
I genuinely cannot remember the last time an executive was hired, and on day one, everybody was like, well, this isn't going to work.
I mean, this was the perfect storm, though. It's Toronto, and it is like it does make sense when it's just like, do something fucking normal, please. Like, hire a real guy, not a guy who's been in the league 10 years flipping burgers, who got in trouble for cheating the last time, and was like everything you've heard about him since. I haven't heard a single good thing about Chaika in Arizona. Like, not a single. Everything about it was he cheated and didn't know what he was doing. Was like and just put on this front for a bunch of people.
Wasted energy with extra monitors.
He was monitoring the situation, guys.
He was monitoring the situation. But like, if I'm a Leaf fan, I'm like, and that was kind of my thing with like when the Sabres hired Lindy Ruff. I was like, can we please just like go get the guy that has proven and like is the normal thing. We've fucked around so much, so I completely understand why Toronto fans aren't giving that guy a shred of a chance.
I cannot wait for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the NHL Draft Lottery.
Ooh.
Folks, you'll watch along with us because we will stream for it. The vibes in Toronto as they are entering a new era and a new chapter of their storied history. And by storied, I mean, like, it technically is a story.
It's a story.
It's not
eaten
a
up.
good yeah, it's a story. It's just factually a story, not
First
a good
half of
one.
That book has been checked out and abused from the library.
Yes. That it's got like the plastic covering on it, but the plastic covering is still fucked up.
Yeah.
It's one of those stories.
By the way, I brought my book into a sauna this weekend, and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's a very bad idea.
But to begin it with, all right, we've hired 2 new people. Why the fuck did you hire those 2 people? What up, Sundin? I did like you as a player.
Mm-hmm.
And then to lose your draft pick would be terrific.
It would be the best.
And there was already reporting from Frank Saravalli that there are
cheating
complaints
already.
about. As soon as he got hired, teams are like, I think
Before
he's
he got
cheating.
Yeah, before
Before he got hired. That guy's cheating.
Okay, so from Frank Saravalli, sources, prior to Sunday, the NHL looked into a tampering concern raised as new Maple Leafs GM John Chaika began to hire his staff. The claim was unsubstantiated, but underlined the suspicion some counterparts have for Chaika as he resurfaces. It's just, before this guy is even hired in his next job, everybody's like, nah, he's cheating.
Getting investigated when you don't have a job is amazing.
Okay, to clarify the sauna thing, it was an infrared sauna. It was not
People
like
are cooking you.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
Like a
actually do
steam
that?
sauna?
Yeah. It was an infrared sauna, so I thought it would be like dry enough
Yeah.
to get away with the book.
So you Squid Gamed that book.
I don't know what that means.
When I was watching like 3 minutes of Squid Game
No,
on
that's
my
so
phone
different.
in the Uber, where it's like, I can't just, I'm in this sauna. I'm so into this book, though. I got to bring the book into the sauna with me. If you bring anything into the sauna, fuck yourself, by the way.
I've never been
Continue.
in a sauna, so I guess I can't really.
What do you
but it
mean,
just-
fuck yourself?
Fucking sit there.
What? It's a book. I'm not bringing like a
I mean,
boombox in there.
the guy,
Yeah, it's
the
not
guy
as-
who watched. The guy who watched Squid Games for 30 seconds at a time can't be the just sit there guy, A. And B, it's way different between watching a show 30 seconds at a time and sitting in a room. How long were you in the sauna?
40 minutes?
Yeah, that's a completely reasonable time to watch.
You were in a sauna
second.
for 40 minutes?
Yes. It was like a
You plan on having children?
it's a sauna. It was designed to be in there for 40 minutes. It was an infrared
Maybe
sauna
it's a
session for 40 minutes.
Oh, okay,
And it was
gotcha.
a private sauna. Like, I'm
Oh.
not bringing shit into a public sauna where like there are other people in there. It was literally just Ellen and I.
I misunderstood. Yeah, the typical saunas, I think that you're not supposed to be in there for more than like 11, 12-ish minutes. So I was concerned you were saying that you went into one of those with a book, which the book isn't as offensive, but just like don't bring in things to public saunas. If you are at the gym, don't bring your headphones, don't bring your fucking phone, don't bring anything. If you need water, fine. Not happy about it though.
I would just, I feel like I don't really have a problem with headphones if you're keeping to yourself and the music's not too loud. I would just assume that that's not good for the headphones. Seems like there'd be a lot of liquid and steam and stuff to be bringing in technology.
So that's the thing. Like there was no steam, and like it was not like the rock sauna. It was the infrared light sauna, and it was it was still hot enough, I guess, to like melt the glue on the book, and the pages started to fall out.
Okay, I didn't realize that's what we were getting. I thought you were just like sweating a little bit more than you thought you were going to, and then the pages were getting a little damp. The book's falling
chat
apart.
saying with Ellen, and you still wanted a book. Ellen also had a book. We both brought books.
They don't talk to each other anymore.
That would be bad behavior if you and your wife were going to be like,
they're upper middle class.
My
they
wife
have
and
two
I,
beds.
My wife and I know how to enjoy each other's company while also doing things individually. It's fun.
I am not judging in the slightest.
So,
all right, we did not show the Charlie McAvoy Zach Benson incident, and we should do that because at the end of the Sabres Game 6 win in Boston, Sean couldn't make it. Was too big a coward to hop on a plane and spend $1 bajillion.
Too big of a coward to bend the rules of space and time.
I've seen it happen in movies. This is what Zach Benson did to Charlie McAvoy, and more importantly, what Charlie McAvoy did to Zach Benson. No hit chat.
McAvoy is furious. It is Benson. I don't like that play from Benson. He gets his left foot back behind McAvoy's. I think I like this play even worse. As McAvoy takes a baseball swing at him, they're now barking at each other.
All right, big question off this one. Was this a penalty?
Yeah, I would venture to guess that's like more of a crime than a penalty.
It's going into crime territory.
Yeah,
I would say the baseball swing,
assault,
and he's got an in-person hearing, which means that it can be 5+. I would give him 10 games. I would do a nice round number, give him 10 games. We don't need to spend much time on this because that kind of gets into hit chat, but you should get 10 games for swinging your stick at someone's upper body like a baseball bat.
Yeah, the only thing that I think might help Charlie McAvoy's case a little bit is the slew foot that precedes it. It's obviously not good to get up, and we talked about this on Friday night. Charlie McAvoy got up and had like his hands on the stick like a baseball grip or like a golf club grip, knowing exactly what he was going to do as he ran towards
the overhead to like it's chopping wood.
You can't do that. It's not a hockey play. It is premeditated. It's only in response to something, but that doesn't get you off the hook completely. I think it's going to be like 8 to 10 games. I probably closer to 8.
Okay,
has he ever been suspended before?
I don't think so, but you know what? He might have been suspended in the 2019 playoffs. I think he might have been.
A headshot on somebody?
Yeah. Let me see. Suspended 2019. Charlie McAvoy was suspended 1 game. Yep. It was a headshot on Josh Anderson.
Okay.
Nice one. So he's been suspended before, but it was a long time ago.
He was suspended 4 games in 2021 or 2023. McAvoy was suspended 4 games without pay for an illegal check to the head of Florida Panthers defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson. In 2023. So he's been suspended a couple of times, apparently. So I think that leans me slightly more towards that 10-game.
Did they still do the 18-month repeat offender thing?
I'm not really sure.
They used to have it where Brad Marchand was sometimes good at waiting the 18 months, where if you've been suspended within the last 18 months, you're a repeat offender. Oh, my God, yeah. Dude, he'd go 18 months, and then people would be like, Brad Marchand has turned a new leaf. And I'm like, you fucking idiot. You know they play tomorrow, right? Like, you know what's going to happen. He'd get himself suspended.
How many games did Malkin get for the slash to Dahlin?
5, I want to say.
5.
5?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why
That's
I
why
feel
I
like
feel like
it's not going to be
10.
double that
Yeah.
because Malkin got Dahlin on the neck, which is a little like we're not going to like dissect where the slash hit the guy, but like I feel like it's not double. So they'll probably go like 8.
I was thinking 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Very
fucking
do
me,
6,
though.
7?
Yeah, you just narrowly avoided it.
The 6-7 clip of the double murder at when we were talking about in Buffalo keeps popping up all over Twitter,
Yeah.
and it is so fucking funny.
I have just never seen someone with a more dramatic, intense 6-7 than DJ in that clip. Like it was so intense.
Sorry for locking in. It was the playoffs.
The synchronization between both the 6-7 and the O.
Yes, that's what it was. It was our hands were at the same time and our
It's the best.
And we both have like a little bit of a smirk on there. Like I'll watch it. I'll watch that shit because it loops, obviously. I'll watch that shit just watching Pete's face. Or I'll watch that shit just watching my face. It's the same fucking thing. It is. It's crazy,
so
mate. That is our clip though, that I don't think we've had one that like pops up every now and then.
I like the
without us being
caption.
tagged
The
in it.
caption on the most recent time was so good. It was like, these guys share one brain cell, and Sean was using it at this moment. That's best way to sum up the show.
God, someone said I've used this clip to get people to watch the show. Yeah. Hey, whatever can get the
Whatever
folks
works.
here. I did look at some recent reviews on Apple Podcasts, and it was a lot of the stuff we were asking for. It was a lot of like bisexual jock talk.
Hell yeah. I saw some people saying that Young Gritty misquoted me when he put it on the billboard, saying the Bruins had a first-round bye. I was saying first-round BI.
Yes.
They had a bisexual guy in the first round.
Yes.
So eat that.
Yes.
Young Gritty spreading misinformation.
I do have. Did I tell you? A friend said like, who is more of a women's hockey fan than an NHL fan, was
Go
like,
Fleet.
hey, like I know. She's like, I'm seeing more and more of your clips in my algorithm, and I was like, yeah, you know, like the algorithm's showing us to different people or whatever, and like we've got like our audience is it's definitely like skews more women. It's gayer than other hockey shows audiences or whatever. And she was like, oh yeah, like my algorithm is like all gay shit and your podcast. And I was
Right
like,
on.
Amazing.
Fork found in kitchen.
Speaking of Young Gritty,
I'm looking at all these reviews, by the way. It's hilarious.
do some.
Great work,
We used to do
everybody.
this on brunch.
Great work, everybody. Head to the Apple Podcast 5-star review section and talk about how we're your favorite podcast for jocks.
Wait, where's this was this on the ground or is this on the package?
A lot of stuff on the ground in this studio.
I don't think. All right, we have a new package from Young Gritty. This is addressed to Peter Blackburn,
Oh, Jesus
and I am
Christ.
told this is
from Young Gritty? Oh,
Yep.
Jesus.
So it's got to be from Young Gritty. And I was told by Young Gritty that an apology gift was coming for Pete because famously Young Gritty has gotten Sean and I very nice, thoughtful gifts. He has gotten Pete a Jordan Binnington jersey and a Charlie McAvoy jersey that fits
Your
me
size.
and not Pete. So
And
an
now, I mean, honestly, a
apology-
McAvoy jersey is also kind of a punishment jersey at this point.
That's right. It's a bad guy.
So what's the insistence of just attaching the hard R to my name?
I think it's that I said Peter and you got mad.
Yeah, I think so. This could go one of two directions right now. Either Young Gritty leans into the bit, which
Yeah.
I think that he's funny enough and chaotic enough to do so, and this is another fucking troll gift, or I think over the weekend the Billboard discourse shows that like sometimes Young Gritty feels very
He has a little bit of a
apologetic
heart.
about poking me. And so I have no idea where this is going. I'm fascinated. And I also have no
what do
idea
you
what it
think
could be.
I was gonna ask if you had thoughts on what like the troll one might be.
Just another Bruins piss jersey.
I was thinking, like, I don't know if it would be a good behavior or a troll, maybe a little bit of both. If it was a White Benson in there, I think that would be hilarious.
I don't know.
I don't know what a
Bennington Canada.
I also
jersey.
don't know what the make good would be.
I have an idea. I think that there's a funny. I think there's a.
What's the guess?
I don't know if I want to give it away. Can I write it down? Shit. I'm gonna
type it on your computer.
I'm gonna text it to Sean.
Okay.
All
right, type that out. Here we go. Young Gritty, here goes nothing. What is this apology gift? I'm fucking terrified.
I like the phrasing of that text, DJ.
Yeah.
Okay, a little draft day reference.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
I fucking knew it.
DJ, share your text. Share your text, DJ.
I fucking knew it.
The text I sent to Sean was piss jersey no matter what.
It was piss jersey no matter what.
Oh my
fucking
God.
Right. Who is it though?
It's David Pastrnak.
Oh, Pasta piss? That's not bad.
God damn it.
You now have 2 piss jerseys.
Young Gritty,
you gotta wear that
keeps
jersey.
spending money on things that I am absolutely not going to wear. I already have this jersey.
Is it in your size?
Hate this jersey. He got my size right this time.
Fit like a glove.
It would have been awesome if that one was just in my size. Because I also wouldn't wear that jersey. But great move, absolutely great move. White.
Great job.
This is so
Piss
fucking
jersey.
annoying. I hate this jersey.
Piss jersey no matter what. Young Gritty has now gotten you 2 jerseys. That's very kind of him.
He has
3.
Like he's going out of pocket to buy me gifts that actively piss me off and will never be worn, never be adorned.
Like, a lot of Pistronaut chat in the.
There is a nice layer to this troll, though, is that I already own a David Pastrnak piss jersey. It's the previous version of the piss jersey that the Bruins had. I wore that to Philadelphia, and that's when I got caked by Gritty, Young Gritty's father.
Yes.
I got caked in the previous piss jersey. So maybe this is Young Gritty's way of saying, here's a new piss jersey of David Pastrnak that Gritty, my father, can ruin for you. So thanks, I guess. Jesus Christ.
I'm in a real offer war with someone on eBay over something that I want to get for Young Gritty. You'll make an offer and then you have 5 chances to hammer out a deal. You ever do that on eBay?
Yeah.
This person is ignoring me right now. They're letting the offers expire. I threw one out there. They threw one out there.
They're hardballing.
I threw another one out there. He let it expire.
Damn.
And it's got to be a he because he sucks. And I waited another day. I was like, fine, I'll move a little closer. He let it expire. So I've got 2 offers left.
Damn.
And this is something Young Gritty would really want, but it's important I win this negotiation. I could just buy it, but I've got to win. Young Gritty, you would understand.
Speaking of piss, Sean, can you go ISO on DJ?
Oh, boy.
I got to piss.
Oh. And there's piss behind me right now.
I was that, yeah. Did you see that we got the Masterton finalists?
No. Give them to me.
Which one of them is Rasmus Dahlin.
Okay.
Well deserved. The other 2 I find incredibly hilarious are Jonathan Toews, and for some fucking reason, we're still doing it, Gabriel Landeskog. What the fuck is happening there? What are we doing?
Was Landeskog a Masterton finalist last year or no?
I think so. That can't work like that.
Yeah, because he played.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. He returned during the playoffs, if memory serves.
Oh.
So maybe not.
Okay. I'll give that one. I will retract if that's the case.
That is, I don't know.
The Toews one. The
Toews
Toews
one's
one
my
is
favorite
very
one.
funny to me because, I mean, we've had this conversation before. You shouldn't get rewarded for just coming back from sucking. I guess
Yes.
what was he hurt though? When he left?
Taves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he left the
He had injuries and like weird body stuff that he couldn't. He was away from the team for a while, and there were horrible rumors as to like what could it be, like what kind of terrible health problems could he be experiencing, and he just didn't know what was going on. So was away from the team. And
all right, I'll retract a little bit. I guess those are both kind of respectable. Not kind of. Those are both respectable. I think Dahlin should win still, but
yeah, Dahlin should absolutely win. The Masterton finalists are Jonathan Taves, Rasmus Dahlin, and Gabriel Landeskog.
Is this just like a lifetime achievement award for Gabriel Landeskog at this point?
Yeah, he's not happy.
That was my reaction. That was my initial reaction. But as we've kind of settled on, he returned during the playoffs last year, so this would be his first chance at winning the Masterton, which is, I guess, kind of fair.
Butcher Gross wanted to vote him last year based on the playoffs, but
based on the playoffs,
they didn't let him.
yes.
It was a whole thing.
And then Taves is kind of a similar, like he had injuries and stuff when he left Chicago and long path back, blah, blah, blah. So they're a little more fair than I thought they were when I first read them. I still think Dahlin should win, but.
Yeah, I don't want to trauma compare. That's why I hate this award. It should just be awarded. Stop comparing the traumas.
Yeah, I like that
having
too.
Having finalists and having a nominee for every team is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just announce the winner.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's a lot of Dahlin for what chat. So for
Explain,
education's
Sean.
sake, first off, his wife almost died this past summer. She had an emergency heart surgery, had, I believe, a full heart replacement, hopefully I'm not remembering that miscorrectly. And then, unfortunately, him and his wife lost their child while she was pregnant with them. So he's had a very hard time. He left the team at points during the season to tend to his wife in Sweden. So he had a lot going on this year in particular, which is, I guess, part of where my criticism for the other two came from, is that their struggles aren't very recent, not nearly as recent. But Dahlin went through a fucking lot over this season. So
yeah.
It wasn't just out of nowhere, and it's not me just being biased.
No. That's not and I agree with Pete that when we're talking about Masterton stuff, I don't want people to be able to be like, oh, well, you're just saying that because it's your, because no one's rooting for. But my goal in life, and Rasmus Dahlin's goal in life, is to not win the Masterton, to not have a case for the Masterton.
Yeah.
You don't want horrible things to happen to you and your family so that you could get an award for persevering. But there's no question the perseverance of Rasmus Dahlin this season has been absolutely insane. Let's give me the slate, Sean.
Got a big one.
A big one? 2 games. 2? Do the Fleet play tonight?
The Fleet do play tonight.
No, there's no games tonight.
Really? I thought they did play tonight.
Yeah. I don't think they play until tomorrow.
Flyers look to even their series against the Hurricanes. Game 2, Carolina up 1-0, and you can catch it at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Following that, you get Game 1 of Ducks Golden Knights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern in the United States and Canada. What you got, Pete?
Sorry, the fucking Fleet
don't play until Friday.
Until Friday.
Yeah, you want to talk about weird scheduling?
They have 6
They have
days
a week
off.
Fucking insane.
What is this, college hockey?
That's exactly basically what they're doing.
Minnesota and Montreal play twice. They play tomorrow and Thursday.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I get that. I don't. Yeah, I
Who's
don't know.
asking for this?
Well, yeah, because it's not like the game's in Ottawa, and famously, nobody else using that arena right now.
That place is unbooked and unbusy.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, that's very odd.
Well, we've got 2 games to watch on ESPN, and I want to talk about one of them, brought to you by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook, Sports Interaction. Ontario only, 18+. Please play responsibly. The Flyers did not look great in Game 1. They did not have Owen Tippett. The Hurricane, yes?
Sorry. I got an update that I just needed to throw out there. This is Gabriel Landeskog's second straight year being nominated for the Masterton Trophy.
Okay,
so you're right, Sean.
Yeah. So I'm back. Yeah, no, I was going to say fuck that guy. Absolutely not what I meant. Don't fuck that guy. I'm a Landeskog fan. But, I mean, come on. Oh, yeah. Like,
I mean, is he being nominated for the same thing? Like, that's the question.
Double Jeopardy.
It has to be.
Can't be nominated for the same crime twice.
I said this last year. I think we all said this last year. All the respect in the world for the journey, for the struggles that Gabriel Landeskog went through. That story is over. That book they wrote the final chapter. They wrote the epilogue. Like, we're done with it. Now he's just a hockey player.
I had to find the answer there. Sorry, I was like tuned out for the last 4 minutes because I was trying to find out whether or not he was a finalist last year because I thought that he was.
Sean, can I demand that be the social clip today?
What part?
You ranting about Gabriel Landeskog being a back-to-back Masterton nominee?
I mean, it's a little tough because I thought I was right, and then I spent about most of that conversation walking back what I was ultimately right about. And also,
we also need to be sure that that it's not for something different,
and that I'm not going to get shot.
We could find out in the
by
comments.
Avs fans.
That's true.
Say like, hey, was it something new? Question mark. Tell us in the comments. Arrow pointing down. For every person who explains to Sean why Gabriel Landeskog should be nominated for the Masterton, we'll up our offer on the Young Gritty gift by $5. Anyway, Flyers Hurricanes, I don't feel good about I want to just go Flyers money line, which would be plus 220, but I don't think betting the Flyers to win a game outright in this series is the smartest thing. I don't think they're going to get swept, but I think that this is a series where they should not be favored in many, if any, games.
Yeah.
So
what's the total?
The total is 5.5.
I feel like the under is the strong play there. I mean, the Flyers are just not scoring at all. Their power play stinks. And they're a good defensive team. So are the Hurricanes. I would go under the total. That's my recommendation.
So under 5.5 is minus 125, though.
Yeah, but that's because that's not terrible value.
You could also go, if you want to make it a little more fun and root for the Flyers to do something, a playoff P goal is plus 290.
All right.
Get him going.
All right.
But if Porter Martone scores a goal and they don't win the game, I'll just be sad. So those are your options. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only 18+. Please play responsibly. Sean, if you could pull up some super chats so we could see what the fine folks had to say to us today. From Post Cottage Hockey Fan, sending money your way because Sean and I are enemies now until the Habs move on to round 3. Ooh. Entertainer says Sam Carrick hours in Buffalo soon. We are so up.
The fourth line is back, brother. No more Josh Dunn and or Tyson Kozak, respectively.
Yes.
I like those guys, but they're not Sam Carrick.
Gabby Nicole says, to bring it back to the losers, drinks bring back all the memories. If the rumors of a Nurse trade are real, oh boy, will I be celebrating. Still waiting for heads to roll, though. Those Oilers exit interviews were something. Oilers can trade. Oilers would have an easy time trading Darnell Nurse this summer, depending on how much they're willing to retain. They'd have to eat a ton if they want something back, but they could definitely eat $2.5 million and move him. So something could happen there. He's got a no move, but we'll talk about that later. Julianne Morevoice says, today's my day. 9.
That's so good.
A great name. Yes?
Have you ever seen the meme that's like, I'm going to butcher it. It's just that this bit's been going on forever, and it's gone on so long that I'm afraid to ask. What is that?
Crazy Stupid Love.
I don't know what that's.
Crazy Stupid Love. Okay. There's a scene where Julianne Moore finds out that her estranged husband has slept with 9 women since they've separated,
or 8, because he said when we were together, I'd only my whole life I'd only slept with 1 woman, and now I've slept with 9 women. And he's talking, right. And she's like, 9.
9, and this was at a PTA meeting. So,
What a movie!
Sean,
What a story!
Sean, please, I beg of you.
I mean, add it to the list.
No.
Next Patreon episode.
Expedite this one to the front of the list. Crazy Stupid Love is one of my most favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
You'll love it.
It's spectacular.
It hasn't aged super well. June Lee put out a video saying that Crazy Stupid Love, one of the easiest jokes that they made was that Cal wears like New Balance dad shoes. And like wearing that was so unfashionable back then that the joke is he throws them off the ledge at the mall.
Oh, no spoilers.
And I apologize. And now, like, that's the shit you want to wear.
Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling has admitted that he wears those now.
Hey.
It all comes full
times
circle.
Change.
From Cooch Chaos, Lightning are cursed by the hockey gods for the way we treated Stamkos. Don't think we'll ever get out of the first round again. You treated Stamkos weird for like 30 years and still won cups during that time. I don't know.
Say, Lightning fans being like, we're cursed. It's like, I think you're just paying for the multiple championships that you did win.
John Cooper did say that. He said, sometimes the hockey gods are on your side, and they have been on my side a long time. They weren't in my corner tonight. Mathis Larson said, now that you have a soundboard, you need to get a button for the top cheese. Fuck that guy. That's not bad to put in there.
Idea,
yeah, we'll do that. Chris Piana says, Philadelphia Flyers on a Saturday. A different kind of energy. Derogatory. Yeah, I would say so. Dose of Serotonin says, hello from Czech Republic. Our goalies have definitely added to the playoff chaos. Maybe send Jari for some Czech training.
I did see a non-super chat follow up that one with Tristan Jarry, get ready to learn Czech, buddy. So,
hey, that is, I'm still figuring out where to put that guy. Abyss Angel says, John Cooper is just Republican Dave Roberts. Maybe. I don't know John Cooper's politics, but
yeah, I'm not too positive about the Republican, but I would just be fine with a white Dave Roberts.
I did see,
he does have a very similar swag.
Once again, I did see someone say in the chat, my choice for Sabres versus Canadiens is easy. The Sabres have Tage Thompson, who is MAGA. The Canadiens don't, so I'm rooting for the Canadiens. You would be disappointed. Again, every team has those guys. Renee Maldonado says, Cooper to the Kings. Nah, would be too much fun. Yeah. Luxury Trash says, we're all thinking it. Trade Eklund for Radish.
Sign and trade.
Yep. The David Carlson
honestly
says,
let's cook. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome for the Sharks.
Yep. The David Carlson says,
no shit.
What up from Sedona? Are you at the what's it called? The what was the resort called? Ambiente.
Ooh.
Hit the Ambiente. It's nice this time of year. Decided on a last-minute trip to keep birthday and duck celebration going. Let's go Ducks.
That was like 7 days ago.
David Carlson rules.
This guy's letting it ride.
Sedona, Arizona, home of the only McDonald's in the world that doesn't have golden arches, has turquoise arches to match the turquoise motif of Sedona and that part of Arizona.
Interesting.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
I feel like Ray Kroc did not like that.
Ray Kroc did not steal the company for that to happen.
Yes.
He wouldn't care as long as they've got a plaque up.
Any
That's
more
true.
super chats? Renee, he's back, says, as a Kings fan, I can confirm. Pete Good knows puck. Renee Maldonado says, no one has fun when you play the Los Angeles Kings. Qualitative
Hey, tell that to Artemi Panarin.
Yeah. Qualitative Vacuum says, I was all ready after the Habs second period to send a chat today asking Sean and the Sabes to avenge the Habs, but instead, good luck and game on. It's a little t-shirt wearing. It's a little too friendly. Got to be pissed. Steven says, Habs fan, as a Canadian, I'm with Buffalo if we lose.
The Sabres are just like collecting Infinity Stones with teams
we're
that
North
they
America's
beat.
team.
Yeah.
Like we were America's team. We're also now Canada's team. Like we are North America's team. We might be Mexico's team too.
I mean, they might be the easiest bandwagon team in the history of the playoffs based off of all
although they
the
piss off
circumstances.
everybody they play, which is the funny part. Like I saw I think it was Cooch for MVP on Twitter asking if they could join the Montreal Canadiens bandwagon. And I'm like, yeah, you have one game formed that much hatred for the Buffalo Sabres? Like
That's
a single 8-7 game or whatever it was makes you hate the Sabres that much. Whatever. To each their own, I suppose.
Laurels for the Avs. Happy birthday day to Ellen. Coffee treat for her. Hopefully she gets a break from shoveling the snow. Thank you very much, Laurels.
She did get a break. She got a break from shoveling so she could mow the lawn.
That's true, yeah. And we went in the sauna so she could rest her muscles for the long summer of lawn mowing. Nice. Doja Cat, VGK said William Karlsson's in game 1. Ducks are cooked.
I think they might have been anyway.
Is William Karlsson playing net? Because I don't trust Carter Hart against the Anaheim Ducks. Burned Oils says watching the show is like watching Brokeback Mount.
And they spelt Brokeback BR0KEBACK as though the
Brokeback was going to get censored.
It was going to get censored because Brokeback is a swear.
Burned Oils, you're here a lot for somebody who doesn't seem to enjoy the show, and now you are giving us money. So thank you very much. Very much appreciate the super chat. Michael Curtis.
We need to put all the, not to cast aspersions, but it seems that Burned Oils might be, I don't know this for a fact, but might be either a little homophobic or something like that. Like,
what gave it away?
Making this show about, all right, so like we need to find the most theatrically gay cause to donate Burned Oils super chats to.
We got to find a soundboard drop for Burned Oils.
It would just be the celebration clip that Jack Tucker plays every time he says anything gay. Very good. The Yahoo.
There you go. Michael Curtis, Tampa LTIR merchants confirmed. Yep. Of course, Jesus Christ. Stacey Faye, I give everyone permission to read my book in a sauna. There you go.
Well,
make
no,
sure
you
the
shouldn't
glue
want
is
that,
super
though,
strong.
Stacey Faye, because, yeah, your book's going to fall apart.
Well, here's Stacey Faye's unbelievable strategy here. If you bring her book into a sauna and it falls apart and you want to keep reading it, you got to buy another copy of the book.
That's how they get you.
That's how you're goosing the
one
numbers.
book per chapter.
There you go.
Is that it for super chats?
Yes.
Yes.
Burned Oil, dip back in. Say that
We
we're
know
like
you're still here. There we go.
Say we're like Moonlight or something, or just what? Just be like, oh, I didn't know I was watching Call Me by Your Name. $50 more.
Do you see what Trump said about YMCA?
Yeah.
He said that Melania gets mad at him for dancing to the song.
They say it's a gay anthem or something, but
he said no. He called it the gay national anthem.
About that.
Our first
I don't know
gay
anything
president.
about that.
Love it.
Yes. All right. We've got the stream tomorrow night. I don't know if we'll be able to get out I think I can finish up the Oilers thing to do at some point today. But Sean, I think I would need you to edit that one, and I think that you might like kill me for it. Because you edited what was the one that you did? You did the playoff explainer video, and that was amazing. So
Yep.
Like you did too good a job that I think that maybe, what do you say you edit a Fixing the Oilers video as well?
I'm more than anything surprised that you.
Just
seems like such a you thing. Well, yeah, it just seemed like that was going to have your fingerprints all over it.
We'll talk. Anyway, lots of stuff coming up. We're going to see if we can find our way to Montreal. We don't know yet, but this is going to be an absolute party. There is another Patreon episode up yesterday in which we discuss the Sabrina Carpenter song, Nobody's Son, as well as the worst of Maroon 5. And
I had a lot of fun.
That gets really
Patreon.
good. That was a great
There's
Patreon episode.
Piano involved, or keyboard, I guess, in the episode.
Well, I just had I put on the soundboard. I put like a 1 chord, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever I say like it's just 1, 5, 6, 4, but you don't know what I'm talking about, so I just had a little sample, so you could hear what I was talking about to make it so. Like, was that all understandable? What I was talking about, Sean? No,
I don't. Yes, I just. That stuff kind of goes over my head.
Yes.
To be honest, like when you get like
Me and Sean
like
same
when you
boat.
get into like the weeds on music stuff. Like I mean, we talked about this one time when Pete wasn't here and we had that episode with Petey. Like I don't really have a whole lot of I don't know. Just I like music that I like. I don't really think too much about the way that it's made, I guess. So,
yeah, anytime there's
I think
the
to people
music
that
theory stuff, my eyes glaze over, and it's not from like a lack of interest. It's just I cannot comprehend it, and I will never be able to comprehend it.
Okay. Chat says it was
but I think people
understandable.
like music people will like it, like 100%.
What karaoke? I would love to do that, Jose. We will work on it.
I feel like there might be one massive obstacle to what Chaos doing karaoke. Not sure what that would be. But famously, all three people on this show are huge karaoke guys.
Yes. Last little freebie. Stacey Faye had asked on the Patreon, curious your guys' thoughts on Teddy Swims. I talked about my least favorite type of music yesterday, which is the like generic piano, like arpeggiated, like sad person singing thing. The Louis Capaldi song, the I Will Rise Up song.
What does arpeggiated mean?
Instead of like playing a chord, you play like the notes of the chord all at once. Arpeggiated is you're playing the individual notes.
Okay.
So like
I understand.
one after another. So like when it's going like if it's going like ba da 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 like that's an arpeggio.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So like that type of thing. That to me is the bad shit. Also the bad shit is what I didn't come up with this, but somebody called it like American Idol, like top 10 performance core.
Yeah.
That's Teddy Swims.
Okay.
And
I don't know if
like
Teddy Swims. So.
Guy with a good voice singing an uninteresting song and just like flexing. Not for me, but I know it's for a lot of people. Shout out people who like Teddy Swims.
One more super chat before we get out of here. Fun fact, Jack Tucker is a clown persona. Zach Zucker went to Parisian clown school.
Yes, I didn't know that
it's not Zucker.
One of my friend of the show, Megan Kelly, took improv classes with Zach Zucker and said she knew he was going to be famous, but that it was going to be something ridiculous.
I would imagine, yes.
And, yes. Okay. Check out the Patreon. Lots of stuff there. Love ya. Talk to you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything. Daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.